Hi, everybody. I'm Bev Cowling with Cowling's Loving Designs, and it's Do It To It Tuesday. And so I hope people are going to be joining me, and we're going to make a tomato cage Christmas tree. Now, I have a whole list of supplies that I listed on my page uh, for you to get if you were going to make this tree. But I got to tell you, the list is going to be pared down a little bit, and I'm going to show you why. Before I decided to do this tonight, I wanted to be sure of the method I would use because I wanted to make sure that we did the best product we could possibly use. So I watched a ton. Hi, Carolyn. It's great to see you. I'm glad you're here. So I've been watching videos and reading tutorials and trying to decide what I wanted to do. And I decided that I wanted to do the ruffle method, but the cages that I had were really big. Well, I stayed up all night, literally all night, making this Christmas tree. So I'm going to show it to you here. I'm going to swing the camera around and see if you can see it. See that? And it's gorgeous. And it's gorgeous all lit up, but it's really big. And I decided, I said I wanted to do hi, Jamie. I'm glad you're here. If I can't see you, it's because I've got lights in my eyes. So I've moved my camera so I could move it up more easily without having to get up and down and move around so much. So anyway, I had these red cages and I had these green cages. But I was going to make this Victorian Christmas tree because I've had all this mauve mesh, and it didn't look good on either one of them. So I sent the mister out to buy me a new cage. And he came back very gratefully, I'm glad he did, with a much smaller cage. So, whereas this red one that I did, that I just showed you, that took 5.5 rolls of 10-inch mesh cut at 15 inches each. And when they're shorter, they're also much smaller in diameter. So clearly we're not going to need as much. So I can't really tell you how much because I already cut all of it for a bigger cage. And I've already made all my ruffle bundles. Hi, Teresa. Oh, thank you for blessing my page. I appreciate it so much. You guys, I also want to tell you that right now I've got a sale going on through the 4th of July. My tabletop easel, my wood tabletop easel that my honey makes, it's 1/2-inch solid wood plywood with a hinge top so it folds away. And it's got this nice chain to keep it sturdy as it sits on your table, and it's adjustable hook. And we'll paint it to your color and put your logo on it. And right now it's 10% off. And the best place to order that right now is at our website, www.cowlingslovingdesigns.com. Also, our size matter ribbon rules are on sale too. 10% off, and both items include free shipping. So if you need some tools for wreath making, there's where you need to go. So anyway, so he brings home this cage, and it's galvanized, so the color is much better. Sprite, I don't need your help, sweetheart. I'm sorry. I need you to go away. My little blue pit mix is down here licking my feet. Go on, sweet angel. Yes, I know. You just think Mama needs your help all the time. She's a year old. She's a rescue, and she's adorable. Anyway, so I'm going to start out by showing you exactly how to prepare your cage. And I devised, since I wasn't really happy with what everybody else was doing, I didn't think it was sturdy enough or secure enough that it would store and be able to be used year after year. So I decided to try my own method, which is why I ended up with this great big monstrous red tree. But you should see it lit up. It is so pretty. And so we're going to start. Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. I appreciate that. I'm having a hard time since I've moved my camera. I'm having a hard time staying center camera here. Let me see. I'm going to try to watch the comments as much as I can. It's hard because the light's in my eyes. I'm kidding. That was so cute. So I invite you to please share this video. They say we're not supposed to ask for that to be done, but you know, it really helps our business. It really helps our visibility if we share it around in all of our groups, and then we enlarge our audience, we enlarge our community. So I'm going to start, I'm going to scroll this down and start by showing you. I've got this cage set sideways. These are the top. And you want to make sure you get a cage with a round bottom here, so it sets. You don't want with the legs that go into the ground. You don't want one of those. You want a solid bottom. So, and you know what? I'm going to put my, I thought I was going to put my apron on. I took my apron off and I set it somewhere. And now I don't remember where I set it. I've been down this road before. I don't know where I put it. Anyway, we're going to start by taking these top little things here. You know, we're going to make a little teepee. I'm going to use this zip tie, and I'm just going to tie them together just like that. Just as tight as I can go. And I'll clip that off. And now we have a Christmas tree shape. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add wire. Now, okay, comments appear on Be Live. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and I don't know how much of this I have left because I used it all on the red tree, but I really like the 22 gauge for this because it's stronger. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to stand up. I'm going to have to stand up and see if I can show you guys a little bit better up here. We're going to start here. All I'm going to do is take this wire, and I'm just going to kind of wind it around here. And I'm going to go straight down between the two. There's three junctions, and I'm going to go straight down between those. And actually, I'm going to go over each rung. I hope I have enough of this left. If I don't, I'll go to a smaller wire. So all I'm going to do is, oh man, that light in my eyes is making it hard to see what I'm doing. Okay, all I'm going to do is just wrap it around that rung once, just to give it extra strength and to help it keep it straight. So because it's on this spool, it's going to curl up on me a lot. Oh, come on, it's already curled all over the place. Okay, here we go. I always have a problem, don't I? I always have something go wrong. I guess that if I'm not having something go wrong, I'm not working right. Okay, it's wanting to kink up on me. Come on, here we go. I just want to do this because it helps hold it steady. Okay. It's hard because I'm getting to the end of the spool of the wire, so it's wanting to bound back on me. Like a slinky. Okay, so do you see? I just took one loop. I just looped it over this rung right here. Just went through and looped it over once. And I'm going to go down to the next rung. And I'm going to loop it around one more time. And I'm going to pull that as straight as I can and as taut as I can. You don't break your cages. And then I'm going to go straight to the bottom rung. And I'm going to clip that wire. And I'll wrap it around that bottom rung. So now we have, instead of a huge distance between the cage braces, now we have this wire in the middle, so we've cut our distance in half. So we're going to do it 2 more times. We'll do it one more. Let's see, I'm just going to wrap it around up here. So by wrapping it around again up here, it's just strengthening that where I put that cable tie to hold the ends together. So I just wrap it around this bar. wrap it around the next one. And go down to the bottom. It actually, if you don't play slinky with your wire, it goes pretty fast. So, and I'll just wrap this right around the bottom. Okay, so now we just have one more time. So we're going to do it one more time. And I think I'm barely going to have enough wire to get all the way down. We'll see. And here I am back at the bottom. Put that off. So I'm going to wrap it around. This does not affect the way it stands. It will still stand plenty steady on the, because you're wrapping that real tight, so it's not going to affect anything. So now we have, instead of 3, we have 6. So, okay. I don't think this wire is going to go much farther, so I'm going to switch to my 24 gauge. Because what I want to do now is I want to come around one time around the middle. You see where I am here? I'm just going to come run one time around the middle. And you don't want to go underneath. If you go underneath your downward bars, you're going to end up with a triangle. You need to make sure you always have your downward ones done first, so you'll actually can keep your circular shape. So, so here we go. This is a little prep time that you need to do this. I realize it's a little bit of extra time, but when you see this red tree all lit up, you'll realize how much worth it was. So we want to keep this about halfway as much as we can. And I did I did put a little bit of glue on mine on the big tree. I don't know if I'll need to on this one. So now we're going to go to the middle section and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go halfway around and we're going to make another layer of wire because we're going to attach some chenille stems. And I'll explain why in a second because, okay. Gotta tell you, it's a lot easier with the 24 gauge wire. It's a lot easier. Actually, I thought about trying to do this ahead of time, but I wanted you to actually see it in motion. I wanted you to actually see what I was doing. So I decided to wait. So we're going to go up here. We're going to do this one because it's so small. We probably don't need it, but we're going to do it anyway. Just because I like symmetry a little bit. I like a little symmetry on my Christmas tree. What about you? Now this top wire is pulled loose a little bit, so I gotta tighten it up a little with my pliers here. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to take this around, about halfway around. I want to make sure that I don't go too tight. If you go too tight, it'll creep up on you. But you got to be, you don't want to go too loose or things won't stay. So. It's funny after working with that great big cage. This is almost too easy, and I'm struggling because it's easy. It was so hard on the big one. Okay. So here we are. This one's a little loose, so I'm going to just bring it tighter with my pliers. Just give it a little twist. And that'll tighten it up a little bit. Okay. I will definitely attach some glue to hold this one down because it definitely wants to creep up to the top of this little teepee. But we're done with the wire. I'm going to go ahead and dab a little glue, I think. You're not hot yet, are you? I love my Ryobi, but it didn't get hot fast enough. There we go. Okay. So everywhere there's a little junction, I'm going to dab a little glue. And especially at this cross ones, because we want to make sure that they don't creep up. So just a little dab. Won't take long. I'll be cleaning glue up off my cutting mat tomorrow. Okay, that one I'm going to hold. Bring this one down. Okay. I think I got them all. I'll put that a little bit, do that one a little. I didn't quite have them all, but I got them all now. So, hot glue is a marvelous thing as long as you don't let it get on your skin. Okay, so there we are. It's okay. I want to see the comments. Okay, there's a lot of comments I'm not getting to see, so let me see. Why not use a tomato cage? This is a tomato cage. Thank you, Connie. Thank you. This is a tomato cage. It's a small one. It's a 32-inch one. And because they didn't have that one, the only other one we could get in the galvanized was 54, and it was just way too big. I'm glad you've been waiting. I've been waiting for this too. Okay, so our next step is to add the lights. And the first thing you do is you plug them in to make sure they work, which I have done. The other thing I did was I strung them up to try to get some of the kinks out, because you know how when they first come out of a package, they're really, really tight. And I'm going to tell you, this tree is going to be really well lit because it's 100 strand and it's a small cage. So we are going to, I'm going to find the plug. Here's the little female. I'm glad. I wanted to teach something new. I enjoy, but at first I had to develop it. Anyway, so what you want to do is you want to make sure your female plug is as far out from your cage. See if I can get back down here. You want to make sure it's as far out from your cage as it can be. Let me put these all in the middle. Because you want to have as much slack, of course, for plugging it in. And needless to say, you're going to need an extension cord because unless you park this thing on the floor right next to your outlet, the cords are not very long. But you want to, this is funny, you want to have your very first light just inside. So here's your plug. So I'm going to start with a zip tie right here. Dump some zip ties out. And I'm going to zip tie my lights on the inside of the cage. Make sure you keep them on the inside. And I'm not going to cut them off. And I'll tell you why I'm not going to cut them off. Because if you cut them off, if the day comes and you need to replace your lights, it's really hard to find them. And nobody's going to see them on the inside. So I decided to leave those because if you need to come in and replace a bulb or replace a strand, having those little zip ties helps you find things easy. And plus it's easier to cut the whole thing off without cutting your entire light string if you have that there. So we're going to leave that, whereas normally we cut them off, we're going to leave it. So every now and then, I'm just going to go around this circle and keep the lights inside. It's a lot of lights for this little cage. And every now and then we'll just add a little zip tie. It's more important on the bottom. You want to keep them as much level as you can, because you don't want these lights interfering with with being glue. You want to make sure it's level and stays on there. And y'all know what I'm trying to say, don't you? I think you know what I'm trying to say. So, this was easier. The lights was easier on the bigger cage because I had more room to work with. It was a lot bigger around. So. But you don't have to do like every light. You certainly do not have to do zip tie every single light. That's for sure. I'm probably doing about every third. The most important thing is to keep them inside your cage. That's the most important thing. So, because they're not going to really show as much at the bottom. I'm struggling with these lights, guys. I always said Christmas lights was a man's job. I had them all nice and straightened out, and now I've got them all jumbled up inside. These little zip ties are perfect for this. You could do pipe cleaners, I guess. It's just, to me, it's faster and easier. And we're going to do double pipe cleaners on this one, because I went ahead and prepared all my ruffle bundles, and I did that. So that meant I had to zip tie our pipe cleaner them together. But I did that to save time, because I didn't think you'd want to sit here and watch me ruffle up all those doubled bundles. Well, there's much more fun things we could be doing. Okay, so we're all the way around the bottom, and I'm right here at this, more glue, at this brace. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this all the way up. Am I going to go all the way up? No, I think I'm not going to go all the way up. I'm going to go to the next major knot. Now the thin wire that we added, we're not going to use that because it's not strong enough. So we're just going to go, we're going to stay on our major braces that came with the cage. So we're going to go up one more. Okay, now we'll just go around this rung again, staying on the inside. And I tell you, it seems tedious a little bit, but you know what? It really goes pretty fast. And once you get it together, this is the hardest part of the whole thing. And the only reason I was up all night was with that red tree is making all those ruffles, because I think I have about 144 ruffle bundles, and each bundle has two ruffles. So I had to cut all that mesh and then ruffle all that mesh and attach it all. And that's how I know what I'm going to do now. But I'm glad I tried and did the trial and error first. And I will be anxious to I'm going to put some ribbons in that tree and some ornaments, and I'm going to make a great big bow to stick on top of it. And so it'll be, but it's just so pretty, just like it is in the dark when it's lit up. It was just really neat. And if I had not gotten all of that snowball mesh on sale, there's no way I would have used all that, because I was pricing that out today. Woo! It's gotten out of hand. There's no way I could have used 6 rolls of 10-inch snowball mesh on that tree. Okay, now we're around. We're gonna go all the way up to the next one. And we'll zip tie in here. Now you see why it's important to make sure your lights work before you do this, right? At the juncture, I go underneath and I do across. So I'm doing, and I'm gonna make sure my zip tie is on the right direction. So I'm doing it at an angle so it kind of goes, it connects them both the crossbars. And just extra little strength, you know, because these are soldered on, and yeah, we're not adding enough weight to make them come unsoldered, but you never know. I know they come apart out in the garden sometimes. More glue. I'm trying to keep these in a little bit of a circle here. So when I made my ruffle bundles on my red white one last night, I started by making the bundles and then attaching them to the frame. And that worked real well. The only problem is that means your pipe cleaner is on the inside. So if you wanted to add ribbons or anything else, you couldn't because you didn't have anything to attach it to. So that's when I realized that I wanted to put my ties. I wanted to make ties on my cage so that I could actually have ribbon ties to put ribbons in if I wanted to do that. And since this is going to be sort of a Victorian look, I'm going to put one more there. And that is just because of the mesh I have. So that's what just kind of dictated that. And but actually, I really like the feminine Victorian look on trees and wreaths and centerpieces, and they just have that that kind of a Renaissance type of look to it, if you ask me. So, okay, so now we're back up to this. We're going to go up one more. So we're just going to take it up here. And since we're not doing it on the wire we added, so I'm going to go straight to the top. And I'm going to get this one little light right up here at the top. And I'm going to I got them hooked together. Okay. I'm going to take this and I'm going to see if I can show it. I see if I can get you in here so you can see. Oh dear. Okay. Uh-oh. Now I can't see what I'm doing because I got my desktop in the way. Okay. I don't know how to get it to go. Go away. No. Go away. Shoot. There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this strand of wire and I'm going to just pop it right over there. And then I'm going to drop the rest of these lights right down the middle of the cage. And then I will start attaching them. And I don't have to be quite as careful at where they can be a little bit looser. But now see, this bar doesn't have any coming down here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come all the way down on this one. And we'll attach them right here. I'm going to attach these in a couple of places. Just for a little stability. Okay. And now I've got this bar here. I got my wires crossed. Not the first time I've had my wires crossed. I'm sure it's not going to be the last. Do y'all have any big plans for the 4th of July? It's going to be so hot here. We always have a barbecue that we go to every year. There's this wonderful old man that is in aeronautics, and Donald met him years ago flying remote control airplanes over at the airstrip, and he's just the sweetest old guy, and I think he's well in his 90s now. Okay, I got these untwisted, so I thought I did. I didn't. It doesn't really matter, but I'm kind of anal about things like this. I think he's about 93 now, and every year he has a barbecue for the entire community. Anybody and everybody can come. And they have a swimming pool, so the kids like to swim, and they have zip lines for the children. They have a little train that takes the kids around the property, and it's a big, I don't know how many acres. Um, it's farmland, and he has all of these Quonset huts full of antique airplanes and antique helicopters, and it's just fascinating to walk around and see all the things that he has. Okay, so now I'm back on the outside of the cage. I got to go back in because I had to pull them out to get them untwisted. So we're going to go back in, and we will definitely not be twisted then. Okay, so here we are. So all I'm doing now is I'm going over to the bare areas that don't have any lights, and I'm going to just kind of hook them there wherever I see a bare spot, and then I'll just work my way down. And I promise you, when you light them up, nobody's going to see that there's any rhyme or reason to what you've done, if there isn't. I've tried to have a rhyme or reason. Don't always. Anyway, so we go over to this wonderful, his name is George, and all of his nieces and nephews and children and their spouses and grandchildren, they all help serve, and he brings in barbecue, has barbecue catered in for everybody, and it's just an amazing feast. Okay, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go right here, and then I'm going to go over to that bar, because I have a bar over here that doesn't have any lights, and Lordy knows I got plenty of lights. So we're just going to swing right across, and we're going to catch this bar right here, and then we will have gotten all of them. So anyway, we're going to go over there, and I would love to do the zip lining, but it is for the kids. They don't have an adult one. They used to have people flying in from all over the country in their little planes, and they would give people airplane rides. But through the years, people have passed on or moved on, and it's not nearly as well attended as it used to be. And I think it's really sad, because what a wonderful thing. And he always has a live band. He has the same band. Yeah, cannot see. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm down here. I'm hiding it. Yeah, I'm hiding it. There we go. I'm sorry. I forgot about that. I had moved it up so you could see what I was doing up above. I'm having to deal with this new camera angle. So I'm thinking it might work out better in the long run, because I can better control without having to walk around to the back all the time. So now I have these few lights left. So I think I'm just going to go back up. Guys, if you could see this, I've got way more lights than I have tree. I guess that's a nice problem to have. You have plenty of lights under your tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this up, and I'm going to attach it right here. And I'm just going to let the few that are left free fall, and it's not going to hurt a thing. So there we go. Okay. Now I probably should, I guess I'll anchor this one right here so it's not flopping around. That's that plug. So we've used a few zip ties on this one. There we go. Okay. So now our tree is, we have our extra wires, we have our lights, and we're ready to attach some ruffles. So, like I was telling you, I wanted to make sure that I had a way to attach ribbons. So what I'm going to do is, I apologize, I would have had these cut in half, except that uh, our internet went down at 5:30, and we were frantically trying to get it back up and get apparently we had a bad driver or something that had to be repaired, or I don't know what it was. But so we were messing with that instead of cutting pipe cleaners. So I'm just cutting these in half. We're not going to need a whole lot of them. Well, I shouldn't say that. We might. So I'm going to show you what I have. You see this box? Let's see. You see my box? My box is full of ruffle bundles of this dusty mauve. It's kind of a dusty rose. It's really pretty mesh. I have tons of it. And so I decided that that's what I was going to use on this tree. Now I've ordered some mauve colored pearls to put on it, and they're not here. But I also have these little antique bundles of flowers that go really nicely. I'll be cutting these apart and putting them in. And then I've got this gorgeous ribbon. This is from Sam's last year. And then I have this other really pretty ribbon that goes really well. So, and then I've got a wider ribbon that says Season's Greetings that is kind of a khaki, but it's got that rose gold trim. I might use that, but I'm thinking this tree might be a little bit small for that wider ribbon. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach the pipe cleaner at the bottom, and I do not want to encase my lights. And the reason you don't want to do that is, like I said, should you ever have to repair a light, let's see if I can see what I'm doing. I'm pulling my, okay, am I out of the angle? Okay, there we go. See, here I am at the bottom. I've got this pipe cleaner, so I'm just going to go here, and I'm just going to twist it, and then I'm going to attach this bundle that I've already made to the frame, and I'll just twist it. And I'm going to go ahead and twist this on really good, because I will not be adding anything at the bottom. Because your bottom is, it's going to be up against the floor or on your tabletop or whatever. So we're not going to really want ribbons down there. So, but I'm going to make sure that I attach my pipe cleaners and do not include the lights. And that's the biggest challenge on the bottom rung. So, but as you can see, I've got all these bundles, and I'm thinking I have plenty. I hope I have plenty. And I'm going to go crosswise here, because you don't really want a lot sitting on the floor. If you end up putting it on the floor, you don't really want your mesh sitting all over the floor. So, but we're going to go close together because we want it to be nice and thick, and we want it to be solid. Crossbar right there. I'm going to use it. So we're just going to be adding our ruffle bundles in. These are cut at 14 inches. The reason I did that was because actually I thought I was going to have a much bigger tree, but I decided the 14 was better than the 15 on the big tree that I did, just because it took up so much mesh, and I thought cutting it down 1 inch wasn't going to really matter. This is a pretty color. I don't think the color translates very well to TV. Maybe you guys can tell me different. I don't know, because I have no idea what you're seeing. I only know what I'm seeing. So make sure I have the lights out. And just attach those ruffles. I'm tucking it under, and I'm just kind of scrunching them together a little bit, almost like you would when you do your poofs. Now, there's another method for doing a Christmas tree with a tomato cage that they use on the bigger trees, and they do kind kind of poofs at the bottom, and then they twist the mesh and wrap around for 2 or 3 rows, and then more poofs, and then twist and wrap again. And I think I will try that on one of my bigger trees, and I'll probably do that on another tutorial. But I really wanted to do this ruffle method, predominantly because I was using this mesh and it was 10 inches, and that other method only works with 21 inch. So I had to do it this way. And see, you don't have to put glue or anything here. You're just attaching these, and so you don't really need to glue your pipe cleaners. When I make a wreath form, I usually put glue down when I use pipe cleaners and make my own wreath form. That's what I often do, is glue, because they just stay better. I don't want my things shifting all over in shipment. One thing I realized when I made that great big tree, it's not getting shipped anywhere. It would. Can you imagine what that thing would cost to ship? Woo, buddy! It would be a lot. I'm going to see if I've got anybody talking to me. How do you change the lights when they burn out after the mesh is on? Well, I've never had an entire strand burn. I always buy the lights that if one goes out, the rest stay lit. And so the nice thing about this is you can get right into the metal, so you can fit right up there. So if you need to replace any bulbs, you can easily get right up inside of there. And but that's why I said make sure your lights work before you start. Wouldn't that be awful to go through all of this and then have your lights not work? Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. I think I would be one mad mama. I know I would be one mad mama. I would be one very frustrated mama too. Okay. If I keep going this tight, I may need all these bundles and then some. And if you see over on my whole table, I have a whole lot more mesh cut for the bigger one that I thought I was going to be doing. So I always secure these pretty tightly. When I do my turns on these, I always do three good ties. I'm not shaping these ruffles as much on the bottom rung. I will go back at the end and shape them out a little bit better. You probably hear the TV going in the background. I think he's watching Pawn Stars. He likes that show. So anyway, we always look forward to going over to this barbecue, but oh my goodness, it's so hot right now. And there are places, they set tables up, and you start out in the shade, and you pick the shadiest place, and then of course the sun moves as the day progresses. So then you find out the place that you picked wasn't so shady after all, and then you try to move, but I have to always remember to wear a visor or a hat or something. I don't swim when I go there because it's all the kids in the pool, and they have the slide, which I think would be a lot of fun, but I think I'm not exactly the age playmate they'd like to have in there. But the live band is a lot of fun, and then we dance in the grass, and you always meet the most interesting people, and their gardens are lovely. And I always walk the memorial walk. He has planted a tree in memorial to absolutely every member of his family for the last, I don't know how many decades. And every tree has a plaque with their name in there, the year they died. So it's really kind of neat. All righty. So we're around our first row. So now I'm just going to go through and I'm going to attach these little chenilles. And I'm attaching these closer together than I would normally because this mesh is kind of thin. And so we want to make sure that we have enough depth so that you don't want to see all of this through it. You just want to see light. So all I'm doing is just twisting that on there one time on this wire. This is the wire we've added right here. I don't want to do that with that. I don't want to do that inside those lights. I'm going to do that. There we go. Always trying to remember to keep the lights outside of my project. They're only to illuminate, not to be part of. Now, I've heard some people say that they've used the lights to actually attach their deco mesh on, but I don't think that's a particularly good idea. It just doesn't seem like a good idea. So, oh, now he's watching American Pickers. I recognize that voice, that mic anywhere. It's so funny, guys. When there was a lot of shows I never heard of or never watched until I met this man. And my life has changed so much in the 4 years we've been together. We have an anniversary coming up this month on the 22nd. It will be 4 years. And he brought me home a fountain today to put in we have several gardens. Hi, Ashley. I'm glad you're learning something new. It's fun to teach something new. And of course, I had to learn it first. So I'm so glad everybody's here, and I hope you're enjoying watching. And I wish I could see more comments. Okay, I got this pipe cleaner all hung up in something. I think I put it around too many things. I did. Okay, here we go. I didn't have any pipe cleaner left to wrap any ribbons in or any tulle or mesh in. Okay. But now you see why you can't do these ahead of time. You got to do these after you get all your wire on and stuff. So you can only do so much prep. And I would have done more, but I thought it was important to show you how to do everything. So if you can't see, I'm trying my camera. There we go. My camera keeps moving a little bit on me. So these may be too close together. I may not need all of these. And I'm going to go ahead and come right up here and do one here while I'm at it. And I'm going to do right here. I can't wait for those moth pearls. They're just like a thin fish wire with moth pearls on them. And I thought they would really make a pretty garland for this little tree. And but they didn't come. So no doubt slowed down by the holiday. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have taken off this week. My son doesn't get Friday off. He only gets Thursday off. So they didn't get to go to the golf like they usually head down and visit his uncle in, I call it Florida, but it's actually Alabama side. So it's not actually in Florida. But they like to go down there and parasail and stuff, which I've never done. It looks like so much fun. So I'm just trying to quickly wrap these little things around. And I'm pretty much going at the juncture of the wires. And if I need to add any in the middle, I will. It's kind of hard to tell at this point because these ruffle bundles are kind of wide. So I'm not sure exactly how many I'm going to need. I get in there without messing with them. There we go. Get in there without getting those lights in there. There's a lot of people that make these without lights, and they're beautiful. I love lights. You see the front of our yard at Christmas time? Oh, we do the lights. And this house had never had a Christmas tree, and it had never had lights until I appeared. And now, every year after Christmas, he always says bah humbug when I say, I think we need to be putting the lights out. Bah humbug, he says. And then every year after Christmas, he comes home with more. So it takes that much more time to put them all up. And of course, he says, I don't know why we're doing this. We put them all up just to take them all down. But it's funny. He's gotten into the spirit so much. And then I'm really excited this year. He got me a 9-foot flocked tree the day after Christmas last year. And so I'm anxious to see what that's going to look like. And he wants to put it up on a stand because he has this little train that goes around, which I'd never had before. That was fun with the dogs. They didn't know what to think. What is this thing going around this tree? Kept them out of the tree, though. Of course, it also kept you from putting packages under the tree, too. Now we'll just add bundles and we'll keep going up. And then when we're almost at the top, we're going to do something with that top before we get all the way up there. And it's not much. I eventually will probably put a bow up there. It's going to be just beautiful. Thank you. I hope so. You know, this is the first one I've done with these colors, but I think it is going to be pretty. I know it'll be pretty when it's lit for sure. I'm anxious to put ribbon in it because I love this ribbon that I have that I got last year, and I didn't have this mesh when I got this ribbon. So sometimes things just work out that way, don't they? So I'm putting a lot of these pipe cleaners up here, so I'm planning on using a lot of ruffles. Okay, we're about ready to start adding the rest, and that'll go quick. So let's see, I'm right there. Okay, so here we go. I just keep pulling them out of my box, and we'll just wire them in. Now I will try to shape these a little bit as I go. The nice thing with these trees is you don't have to shape them out into a great big flower like you would a wreath. You actually can't really do that. You can't quite shape them into a full circle, you know. So this should move pretty quickly now. And I hope I don't run out. Not having had a frame of reference, I wasn't sure how many I would need. And I'm going to leave that tie there. I don't think I'm going to need it. I'm just going to go straight to this one. You're getting sleepy? What size? I cut the ruffles at 14. They're 10-inch mesh, and I cut them at 14 inches. And looking at it, I think that that's a really good length. And it was just a guess. It was absolutely a guess. And because that one, the big red one that I showed you that I did, those were at 15 and it's really poofy. And I thought it could have been smaller. Now the one video I watched of somebody doing a ruffle tree like this was with Trinity Tree. They cut their ruffles at 10 inches, and I thought maybe they were just a hair skimpy. So that's why I wanted to go a little bit bigger. But if you go too big with as many as you need, it would take, oh my gosh, it would take oodles. And like I said, that one took 5.5 rolls. And that one is actually, the top ruffle is the snowball mesh. The bottom ruffle is just red metallic mesh because I had it, and I didn't want to use all snowball because it's so costly. So that worked out real well. But most people couldn't even tell. But it's nice to have the one. You really do need those double ruffles for that extra coverage and extra depth of color. So, see, we're already almost around this one. The rung that we added. Is it one? It's two, hun. It's I did one ruffle, stuck it in the bow dabra, did another ruffle, stuck it on top of the first one, and then tied them together. And yeah, one would have been just too thin. So we're at our last one on this rung. So see how fast it's building now? It's really coming up really quickly. So now we'll go to the next level, and I'll tie this in some more. I did not cut ribbon. I puff my hair when I curl it side by side. My hair's a mess right now. I don't even know what to think. It's so funny. Sometimes I'm curly, sometimes I'm not. Right now it's so hot and humid, I should be curly, and I'm not. So when it's not curly, I don't know what to do with it. And before, when it started to curl, I didn't know what to do with it. And it's just like, oh well. I don't think most people look at my hair anyway. I got this new nail stuff I'm anxious to try. Um, oh shoot! I bet some of you have seen them. It's just nail polish that you get, and you press it on, and it's immediately there, permanently attached, and it's beautiful. I've done it once, and I liked it a lot, and it lasted real well. It didn't chip or anything, and it was a lot cheaper than getting a manicure. So I got some more, and they just came in the mail, and I just haven't had time. But all you do is pick the one you want. You clean your nail with alcohol, and you press it on, and then just use a file to file it down to the end to shape it. And it's there. I mean, it's so easy, and they've got these neatest designs. So I got some fireworks to put on my fingers. So I'm going to be doing my nails probably tomorrow, so they'll be nice and pretty for the 4th, for nobody to see because nobody looks. But I feel better. Oh yes, it's 6 o'clock. My chimer's chiming. My grandfather clock. Actually, it was my mom and dad's grandfather clock, and it quit working. And my mom said, "Well, if you can get it to work, you can bring it to your house." She didn't have room in her house for it, in her little apartment at assisted living. My mom's not doing well. She's 95, and dementia's getting more and more. And she talks less and less. She participates in life less and less. And it's very difficult. Well, I see I have a twist tie that got stuck on the outside, so I can pull that on the inside. Okay. It's hard. It is so hard. Um, I watched her mother become her child when she was taking care of her mother, but for some reason, I just didn't think it was going to happen to my mother. And my grandmother was old before she was old, and I just didn't think that would ever happen to my mom. And then, but I have to keep reminding myself my mom is 95, but she's still my mom. And it's really hard letting go. And the real truth is you have to let go long before the time comes. I think I need a little extra one right here, so I'm going to stick this here. You really do have to let go before the time comes. And so I've been going through a very, very serious grieving process because my mom was my best friend for most of my life, and she can't be that anymore. And it's been real hard for me, not only to watch her be sick because she has congestive heart failure and COPD, and she never smoked, but to watch her be sick and to have dementia too, and see it getting worse all the time. My mom always was the most meticulous, classy dresser, and she has beautiful clothes in her closet, but she doesn't even care to. Boy, isn't this looking pretty? Can you guys see? See if I can pull it up a little bit. There. See, we're already up. We only have 3 more. So it's looking really nice, I think. I have a couple of these little zip ties that want to sneak out, so I'm going to poke them back in the back. There we go. And then, of course, when you mess with mesh, it frays a little bit. So I'll go through and clip the frays. But I think I'm liking this one. I'm liking this dusty rose. I think it's going to be a really pretty little Victorian tree. So what do you put on the top of Victorian tree? Probably an angel, huh? I may have to make an angel to put on the top of this tree. I'm not sure I have enough of the ruffles. We'll see. I may have to come make a few more. And the nice thing is when you have this extra wire in here, if you see any bare spots, all you have to do is come back in and just make another ruffle and just stick it in. So like I said, the hardest part is all the prep, adding the wires and adding the lights. And once that's done, and of course the time consuming part of cutting the ruffles. But I'm really liking the way the ruffles look. It makes it just kind of an elegant tree, I think. 6 rolls of 10. I used 6 rolls on my great big red one. Let me show you again. If you came in late, do you see this great big tall red one? I used 6 rolls of 10-inch mesh on this big red one. But it's looking like this one, this smaller one, is going to be, oh boy, I'm losing my camera. Looks like to me like this is going to end up being about 4 rolls, maybe 4.5. Depends, because I am putting these ruffles rather tightly together because the mesh is a little thinner than that one. Now, if you were doing a green tree, which would be beautiful, I just didn't have the green mesh, you could use lights with green wire, and you could use multicolored lights too if you wanted to. I just like especially since I was doing the Victorian, I like the white lights under it. And I have never seen multicolored lights on a white wire, ever. Other than pastels. I have seen the little mini pastel lights on a white wire. Yeah, I'm going to add one right there because I can see this is going to be a little bit bare. So. This was so nice with that extra little wire you've added off. See, it's already in there. So it's a no big deal to go and add something in. Yeah. And you just kind of pick and fluff it up as you go. It really is pretty. I love ruffles anyhow. I do ruffles a lot. I probably do ruffles more than curls. If I'm doing something more whimsical and playful, then I'll do the curls. But if I'm doing something more elegant, I tend to stick with the ruffles. And I don't know why. I guess it just seems to me that that's what fits. I don't know. We all have our little quirks, don't we? Let's see. So now we're getting close. I am going to have to ruffle up a few more. I am going to run out, but not by much. I had no way of knowing how to guess what I needed. So when I get up to the top, I'm going to start doing it vertically because it's so much narrower around. So I'm just going to add my ruffles vertically instead of horizontally like I was. I haven't seen who all was here. Can I adjust the camera so you can see? I'm trying. Let me see. Okay. I am so sorry. I'm not good at doing this. I need help. Whoops. Okay. Hold on. It is wanting to come off my stand. Okay. How did I make the ruffles? I'm getting ready to show you because I'm going to have to make some more. And now I'm upside down. Okay. We're right side back. We're back right side up. Okay. Right now, all I'm doing is just putting the ruffles on the stand. I'm just wrapping the pipe cleaners. I'm wrapping them around. That's all I'm doing here. But I'm getting ready to show you how I'm going to do how I did the ruffles because I got to make some more. And I'm going to have to put another one right here. So I'll just stick this pipe cleaner in, twist it a couple of times, and this is my last set of ruffles. So we're going to have to make a few more. So I will bring this camera down, and I will show you exactly how I made them. Okay, so we're going to see if I can, where can I move the tree? Okay, I'm going to see if I can move the tree side aside here. I've already got my mesh cut right here. So I'm just going to bring it over here. I don't need those zip ties. I need to scoot those out of the way. Okay, I'm going to cut my pipe cleaners. At this point, I'm just cutting them. Look at my elbow. What length? My elbow. You see all these scratches on my arms? That was from my dogs. They were so excited when I got back in town last week. They just jumped up and they got me with their claws. I'm sorry, you're looking at my elbow. I am so sorry. My camera is it's on one of these pole things that is um, it keeps sliding down on its own, and I don't know how to stop that. It's not a very good arm. I'm going to have to deal with this again. Before I had it on a tripod, but it was across the table and I couldn't reach it. So I thought if I put it up here that I would be able to do it better, but I guess not. Okay, I'm going to scroll down right here. Now I think you can see me well. So I'm going to pull my mesh. I always put a weight on the other end. It just makes it easier. And all I do is ruffle right up the middle. And I use my little Bodabra. I just set them right in there. And then I'll take one more. Put a weight on there. Yes, you can tell this was the end of the roll because it's really curly. Here we go. So I'll set that right on top of there. And this is what I use the pipe cleaners for. And I just wrapped it around and tightened them. I'm looking for my scissors. I need them out of the way. I cut a couple of these sprays. Okay. And then I'm just going to set it right into that pipe cleaner right there on the tree. And just twist it in. I would not have to. I don't actually have to bundle it before I set it in. It just gives extra security and so it won't come loose, especially on something that's going to be packed away and then brought out and then packed away and then brought out. I try to think ahead and think in terms of longevity. So I just need to make a few more of these. I need my camera further away. Boy, I can't, let's see. Maybe that's better. Is that better? Someday I'll have a Mevo and I will be able to do this. Yes, 14 inches is where I cut the ruffles. Okay, this piece is frayed a little badly, so I'm going to, I'm just going to cut it off. It'll be a little bit shorter, but it's not going to matter. I'll just pull them up and wrap them real good. Except I let go. Keep my fat fingers out of the way. Thank you, Jody. I'm trying. Thank you. I need the help. I need an assistant. That's what I need. A lot of people have somebody to help them. I would ask you guys to go to my Etsy page and favorite it, please. And that is Etsy.com shop Cowling's Loving Design. And you run it all together. It's not, you can't separate the words. So it's just Cowling's Loving Design without the S on the end because I ran out of numerals or characters. So. Okay, since I'm going vertically on these, I need to add one more right in here. So I'm going to add another tie right there. Pretty color. this was a real big color for decorating many years ago. I remember my grandmother had a dusty rose. Had a dusty rose living room. But the bedroom that we girls, I'm one of 4 girls, and the bedroom that we always got to sleep in was always purple. And I loved that room. She had a white chenille bedspread with purple pillows for winter. And then for summer, she had lavender sheets with a white crochet bedspread. So the lavender showed through the white. And then she had these summery embroidered pillows with purple. And it was so pretty. It was just so, so pretty. And I always loved that room. There was just a sweetness about that room. And I guess that's why purple's one of my very favorite colors still to this day. I haven't thought of that room in a long time. My older sister and I would share a double bed when we were visiting, and we both loved that room. We had a lot of neat talks laying in bed together. She was 3 years older than me. And now she's not with us anymore. I'm not trying to miss your questions, so if you have any. Okay, so Helen can't see what I'm doing. I'm making ruffles. Can I post a link for Etsy? I can't right this second because I'm on Be Live and I can't do that while I'm live on Be Live, but I will. My Facebook page is www.facebook.com/Bevs, BEVS, Muses, MUSES. And if you go there, my Etsy page will be, I'll post it there. I think it's actually already posted there. And my website, everything I have is on my website, and that's www.cowlingslovingdesigns.com. Okay, let's see. Wish I could see you working on your tree as you go. Okay, well, somebody wanted to see me making the ruffles, so I pan down. So I'm going to pan up then, because you've seen enough. I mean, one ruffle, you've seen them all, right? So we'll go up, and here you can see me. Here's my ruffle bundle, so I'm just going to go right here and attach it. Oh. And I'm going vertically. Just because it follows the shape of the tree to go kind of vertical there. So that's why I decided to do that. And so I need one more. Just because I don't want empty spots. We don't like empty places. Okay. So how many of you think you're going to do a tree? I wanted to do it last year, and I actually bought my cages. If you go to Lowe's at the end of the season, like I got mine, I think it was January, and got red ones and green ones, and I think they were they're tall. Well, you see the red one I showed you here. I think they're about 42 inches tall, and they were, I want to say, $1.25 each. So I bought 2 greens and 2 reds. So I've got more trees to make. And I'm going to try that with the 21-inch mesh. And like I said, I will do another, I'll do another live showing that method. So now I'm going to put this in here. And just turn it up this way. There. So now we just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go. So, and then I might stick a couple up on the sides. But what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go all the way up here to the top. We need to cover the teepee. And I tied it off with a pipe cleaner. Actually, I'm going to do a cable tie. So I'm going to try to show you here. I know you can't see. So I've got a little cable tie here. So all I've done is bundle it. I bundled this I've got a double piece of mesh here. I've bundled it and attached a cable tie. So I'm going to go over the top, just like this. I'm going to take this. Oh gosh, this angle is hard, guys. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to pull it around like this. And then I'm going to cable tie it right here. And all you're doing is covering your little teepee things there, because I'll attach an angel or a star or a bow or something at the top, probably an angel, if I can figure out how to get her on there. But the reason you want to do that before you finish is because if you go ahead and go all the way up with your ruffles, then it's kind of hard to work that in. I found that out with the red one. So that was a trial and error. So here we are, almost done with our tree. Just a few more ruffles. You did the poof wrap already, but you like the ruffle? Yeah, there was just something about the ruffle. Well, of course, like I said, I had so much 10-inch mesh that I wanted to use. And I really think it makes a pretty tree. And it makes it so full and pretty. How did your your poof wrap, how did it come out? Did you post a picture? I'd love to see it. Did I? No, I did not do them all vertically. I did them all horizontally until I got to the last two, and I'm doing them vertically just to follow the shape of the tree. But you know what? There's really no right or wrong, and you can play around with it. If you want to do them all vertically, you could try that. It would probably take more ruffles if you do them all vertically, because you're not taking up as much width. You're going more up. So, but I guess it's a good thing I had all this mesh cut, huh? You should have seen me cutting mesh and cutting mesh and cutting mesh. I thought I'd never finish cutting mesh. But you know, sometimes it's worth it for the results, huh? I saw somebody that just wrapped a tree in mesh, and it was a tall tree, and all they did was wrap it. They didn't twist it or poof it or anything. They just wrapped it. And, you know, it had lights in it, and it was sitting on the floor. It was actually at the clinic where I go for infusions. And that's actually the first one I'd ever seen. And so I went and looked, and I was looking under it and through it and picking through it. And I know they thought I was crazy. But it's when you see those things that you decide what you want and what you don't want, or what you like and what you don't like, or what you want to give a try to, and it's all trial and error. You use, that's the nice thing. The poof and wrap method only takes 221. And I pulled out my Christmas mesh that I had in my tubs out in the garage, and I do have 2 rolls of beautiful Christmas fabric, foil fabric mesh that would make a gorgeous tree. So I will probably do that one. But I've got to get back and do more. I still have a lot more Halloween and fall to do. I just wanted to do the tree. Everybody's been doing fall and scarecrows and stuff, and I'm going to do a witch. In fact, I'll probably do her on my live next week. She's so cute. She's a big old stuffed. I've got her the legs and the hat, and I've got some really neat pics that I got from Spikes. Oh no, I'm getting a notice from Windows urging me to download something. Does anybody know what that's about? It's popped up in the way. No, I don't want to click there and find out more right now. I have a YouTube channel, and I will put this video on YouTube. I wish I had a URL. I think, about 20 followers, 20 subscribers away, maybe not even that many, from getting my own URL. So I will have my YouTube channel posted on my Facebook page, my business page. And I probably should post that on my website too. And I would love it if you guys would go and subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring the bell. That would be really helpful. I'm going to have a giveaway as soon as I get to the 100, so I have my own URL, so I don't have to tell people, go see where I posted the link. I think it's funny how you have to have 100 to have a URL, and then I forget you get something else when you have 1,000. And I forget what that even is. That just seems so insurmountable to me. Although I do have over 1,000 followers on my Facebook page, and I'm so grateful for everybody for following and liking and sharing, and it means a lot. I was planning to do a craft show in September that people told me about, but when I tried to go and register, there was nowhere, no form or anything. It's in Fayetteville, Tennessee, and there was nothing online about it. So maybe they're not having it. It was supposed to be at a junior college, and in September. And I thought, well, I would really like to do one. I almost bought a pop-up tent the other day because I don't have that. I only have one table, which is right here. So I would have to take apart my craft room, and which I need to anyway. I'm getting ready to take it apart and move into the sunroom as soon as I can get air conditioning for the sunroom. Making a few more ruffles here. You can see how we're at the top. Okay. Get rid of my big old box. So what do you guys think? Oh, shoot, this Windows thing. Go away. I don't know how to make it go away without. Oh, shoot. Now I thought I wanted to see it, and I didn't want to see it. No, 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 no. Okay, let me see. I know you're there. Oh my gosh, now I'm getting pop-ups like crazy. I'm going to get back to my screen here. There we go. Here in Pennsylvania, you have a lot of craft shows in the fall. You know what? I would dearly love to go to Pennsylvania. It's one of the few states I have not been in, and I think I would love the history there. I'd love to meet all you wreathers that live there. I want to go to the Poconos. Lori did curls. I bet that was time consuming. I didn't see her make a tree. I didn't know she had done that, so I'll go look for that. Curls are so time consuming because you have to make them, then you attach them each individually, and I love them. And I bet they made a cute tree. But ruffles do go faster, don't they? Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that very much. Unfortunately, I can't get it all done until I get my mauve pearls in the mail that I ordered to make the garland. And I'm wondering how much ribbon I want to attach before I have that. So I'm trying to decide what to do here. I see a few little holes, so all you have to do when you see those holes with the ruffles is you just start picking it out and filling it out, and it just fills them in. It's just so neat. We'll turn the lights on here in a second. And I need one more up here. I'm going to turn that cable tie in. Put one up here. That pipe cleaner is really short. I need to get me a longer pipe cleaner. Oh. That is not. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm going to put one right here. That's what's so neat about these things is you see a place to fill in and you just fill in. Just make another ruffle and fill it in. Made a realistic tree. Oh, yeah. Well, that's like this red one. Like I said, the shipping would be just so prohibitive on it because it's so big that I'll have to sell it locally if I sell it, or else I'll just use it in my own house, which will be fine too, except I'm not sure where. I bet they did make a realistic tree. I guess that would be what I would, because this is about as small as they go, I think. Well, let me ask you guys, have you ever seen the nylon net trees that they made years and years ago? And they made row after row after row of just nylon net circles. They were gathered circles, and they put them over a dowel rod, lace with pink. Oh, yes, it would be. That would be very pretty. Anyway, my mom made one years ago. She doesn't remember. I asked her yesterday if she remembered, and she didn't. And I even pulled some pictures up online, old nylon net Christmas trees. And they were about 18 inches tall. Okay. I'm going to do one more right there and call it done. Anyhow, she did not remember doing it. I found an extra ruffle on the floor. Cool, I got lucky. But hers was light blue, and they just cut circles, 72-inch nylon net, and they just cut, actually they didn't cut circles. They folded it over, and then they just did a gathering stitch and pulled the threads up until it made a circle with a little tiny hole, and then they went over a dowel rod, and they just stacked them up and stacked them up until you had a tree. And then they had these little itty bitty ornaments that they attached. And they actually attached them through the net. They didn't glue them, but they attached them through the netting and hung them on the very ends of the rows of mesh. And so hers was light blue with kind of a medium blue and a darker royal blue ornaments, and it was so pretty. Okay, there it is. Let's see if I can pull my camera back and get a better angle. I don't know if I can or not. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm going to turn this light off. This light's in my eyes anyway. So we're going to turn some lights off and see if you can see. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, hold on, I'll get the rest of the lights on. Let's see. I pull it back. If I go this way. Can you see it? Oh, it's so pretty. It's hard to show it to y'all, and it's all of it. It's really pretty. Oh, guys, I'm so glad. You just never know when you have a vision if it's going to come out or not. But it turned out. Hey, Tequila, how are you? I know she's got you got a live tonight too. There we go. So there's our pretty ruffled Christmas tree. So what I think I will do, everyone, oh, it's pretty lit up, but I want to unlight it. What I'm going to do, since I've got those pearls, let me get up here and see if I can talk to you. Since I have those pearls coming, okay. Hello. Since I have those beautiful dusty rose pearls coming to use for a garland for this tree, I think I'm going to wait till they come before I attach the ribbons, because I don't think I want garland hanging down over all my ribbons. And I think once I figure out how I'm going to string the pearls, then I will be able to attach these. And the flowers, the little flowers. My idea was to take these and, of course, I have to cut them off, but tuck them in here and there with some bows with the ribbon. This ribbon is an exact match. I hope it shows up. I love this one, but I don't know if I have enough of it. We will see. But I think what I'm going to do is when the pearls come, I'm going to do another tutorial to finish the tree, and we'll do the pearls and the flowers and the ribbons, and then you can see how to finish this Victorian tree live with me. I hope that's okay with all of you. Oh, I'm glad you like the lights, Debbie. I'm so glad all of you joined me. I'm doing great, Tequila. Thank you. It's been a hot day. My wonderful Donald brought me home the cutest fountain and I started to tell you, and I lost track. We have 5 acres, and I have a little garden and a fenced area here, and then I have another area over here, and then I have rose bushes there, and another area. I mean, I have little gardens everywhere, and this ground was completely overgrown 4 years ago, so I have spent months clearing out wild blackberry vines, English ivy, Virginia creeper, you name it, a lot of poison ivy, and just everything. And the blackberry vines were climbing up into the trees. And then I had nandina bushes that had grown wild. I had liriope everywhere. Most people love liriope. I can't stand it because it's so invasive and it grows where I don't want it. And so anyway, I had to use a hatchet to get that stuff out of the ground. But I have worked and worked and worked. So there's another little garden area that we've just started. Oh, I'm so glad you joined. You're never too late. I'm glad you like it, and we're going to finish it on the next live. That's what we'll do next week. If the pearls come, we'll just finish it next week. If they don't, we'll do our witch, and then we'll come back and finish the tree the next. Or maybe I'll add in another live somewhere along the way, and we can finish. But anyway, he came home today with this giant, oh, as big as this table, pink iron butterfly, just for the yard, a huge yard ornament. And then he brought a fountain, and it's a small fountain with a little turtle, and the water just bubbles up with this little turtle sitting in the basin, and then two turtles to sit on the ground, and they look real, a big one and a little one. They look positively real. And so this new little garden area that we haven't done anything to until this year, he's taken a bunch of bushes out, and we still have a lot of stuff to get out of the way. But it's going to be so cool with that fountain and that beautiful big pink butterfly. And so I'm really excited that I get to do more work. I'm excited when I get to do more work when it's not quite so hot. Because right now the heat is a killer. It is. The heat index today was 110, and it was 96 degrees. But so that's a dangerous heat for me, being an asthmatic and autoimmune and all that stuff. All those things that we deal with. That they are what they are. You can't do much about them except treat them the best you can. But anyhow. So I was excited to get that stuff today. It was just nice little presents to come. And anyway, so I am so grateful. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, when we get the more vegetation, he has been doing a lot of wiring to make the fountain. I didn't tell you it lights up. So I'm getting ready to go outside and see it lit up for the first time, because it's going to be dark enough very shortly, so I'll get to see it in the dark. But yeah, I'm taking pictures. Oh, my lilies are beautiful. My hibiscus, my perennial hibiscus. I have a white one with the deep red centers, and then I have a red one, and the red one's just popped open today. The white one's opened a few days ago. And then these deep burgundy lilies with the yellow centers they're just beautiful. My stargazers are in full bloom. And so it's nice to see everything coming to fruition. My hostas are blooming, and there's a lot more to do, of course, but I love it. It's great therapy, just like making wreaths and even Christmas trees. I am so glad you guys joined me tonight. You don't know how much you bless me when you share my page and share my live and like my page and follow it. And again, I'll make sure the YouTube link is posted on my Facebook page and on my website. And I would ask you to subscribe and ring my bell on YouTube so I can get my own URL. That will be great. And I want to thank you. Again, you have no idea how much it means to me to have started a business this late in life and to have to work the ins and outs of the technology that I'm still not great at. But I learn from all of you. I learn new ingenuity. I see ingenuity, and it brings out ingenuity in me. I see creativity, and it makes my imagination run wild. And it's what a wonderful way to give beauty to the world. And I love being surrounded by it. And I love being surrounded by people who love what I do and who appreciate what I do as much as I appreciate what you do. So I want to thank you very much for joining me, and close by telling you, let beauty surround you, and we'll see you next time. Good night.